It is time to swatch the Naked Ultraviolet palette. If you want to see what they look like, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, the moment has arrived. I am ready to swatch the Naked Ultraviolet. I did do an unboxing of this palette and offered my thoughts just looking at the packaging, the shadows, the brush. If you want to see that video, I will put right there. Just doing bite-sized pieces because I really want to give this palette the attention it deserves. And the reason being is this is through and through the absolute best representation of the old and the new for Urban Decay. So the old to me is the Vice palettes that came out with a focus on purples and grungy colors and just these wild and different eyeshadow looks. I mean, that to me is the epitome of Urban Decay. And so when I think purple, I think Urban Decay. And when they announced that they were doing a purple palette like this, I was over the moon, and I am really, really hoping that it is what I think it is. And I do think that going half neutrals and half purples and transformers was a really smart thing to do, because Urban Decay gets to do the interesting colors, but also make it approachable to a wider audience. I have no problem with that because I think the Vice palettes, you either loved them or hated them. And I think that this one, you can find a happy medium of edginess and also the ability to do conservative looks all in one palette, which really is what the Naked line has moved on to be. I mean, the Naked Heat, the Naked Honey, the Naked Cherry, they are moving into more neutrals and colors all at the same time. And I am looking forward to a green palette in this line as well. I think it would be a great complement to purple, which is why I'm wearing green today as well, with a purpley pink look. And if you're wondering about this look, I will have it up as soon as I can. And if it's already up, it's in the cards and also in the description box. Okay, we're going to get into this. I'm not going to go over looking at the shadows or the brush. That's already in the other video. But I do want to give you just a quick look at the shadows. And we're going to go from this end to this end and do some swatches. Now my swatching arm is all ready to go, and I'm going to do, as I always do, same process, one swatch and then going over and doing a second go at that swatch for each one of the colors. So twice on each one, and 12 shadows. I'll be able to fit it quite nicely on this arm. Usually anything under 15 works out great. So I'm going to do 3 at a time. These are my swatching fingers. So we're going to start with these 3, which are Trippin', Mind Slip, and Dazed. Okay, Tripping is very smooth. Trippin', I should say. And so is Mind Slip. And Dazed, I'm very curious. So Dazed, I think, is a duochrome. Yes, it is. Ha. Okay, so here we go. We have Trippin', Mind Slip, and Dazed. Trippin'. This is like creamy peach. Mind Slip. It's definitely a peachy pink. And that's going to go really well with the next one called Dazed, which is a duochrome. I called that one right. I'm happy about that. And that's those 3 colors. There's nothing all that unusual about them. They're pretty common. Although I would say Dazed as that duochrome, the 3rd shadow, is not quite as hot pink as I've seen this duochrome be in other palettes. You can find a duochrome kind of like that in, for example, the Jaclyn Hill, the original. It's called Sissy. Well, that builds up nicely. So this is Mind Slip. And the first one again was Trippin'. And then we have Dazed, which is that duochrome. It's quite pretty. So I wouldn't call these all that neutral. So Dazed is has some punch to it. And these three would definitely go really well together. So here are the fingers. And dry hands, but it just is what it is right now. I'm using a lot of cleaner, and they react the way they react. So, okay, so we have this. You can see that they've been swatched, and now we are going to go into Hacked, VR, and Lucid. And VR, I think, is a topper shade. We will find out. Oh, Hacked, I really like. I really like this kind of color. It's a good base for a lot of looks, and actually is very similar to the base I used for this look today. And then Lucid, I'm very excited about. I think it's the most exciting color in the palette. Okay, so we have Hacked. That went really well. And then we have VR, which I think is a topper. Yeah, this is definitely, would act really, really well as a topper. I'm on to your Urban Decay. I know what you're planning. Okay, and then we've got Lucid, which is right in the middle of the palette. So VR and Lucid are definitely toppers / transformer shades. That is definitely what they are. Super. Okay. So back into Hacked. Hacked is definitely going to be one of my favorites in this palette, meaning I'll use it a lot. Okay, so we've got these three again. So let's just do a second swatch, although Hacked doesn't really need it. It's just so nice. And VR. I can see this on top of a number of shadows. And then Lucid has, it has blue, baby pink. I would say, yeah, blue and baby pink, baby blue and baby pink. And I could see how that would go over on purple shadows really well. Yeah, really interesting. I really like that. It's very interesting. Okay, so we have half the palette already. I'm hoping the colors aren't too washed out. They look pretty washed out in the viewfinder, but I'm hoping that you can see their proper intensity. I really want this optimized color to be as nice as I think it is. I have something similar on the inner to center lid from that Certify Affinity palette, and it was very much optimized that I was thinking of when I selected that shadow. Let me just show you that Certify palette because I'm referencing it a few times here. So this is it right here. And so I used this one down here, and I was thinking of optimized, and it is called Lubna. Really a neat color. And this palette overall, I like. Okay, enough stalling. Let's get into optimized. It's just such a pretty lilac, white base lilac color. And then we've got Warning, which I think is another duochrome, purple and hot pink. Yep, and Cyberpunk, which has micro shimmer, but we'll see. Oh yeah, that one has an iridescence to it as well. Those three are going to look so nice together. Okay, so we have optimized. That shows up really well, right on the first go. That's great. And then Warning. Oh yeah, just what I thought it was going to be. That's awesome. Kind of a not quite hot pink, but yeah, hot pink with that lilac duochrome, hot pink lilac. And then we have the third one, which is Cyberpunk. And this one I was excited for as well. Oh, it's not, that seems to be That might be a transformer, Cyberpunk. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so we've got optimized again, warning, and Cyberpunk. Let's see how they build. Look at the Cyberpunk. Interesting. Yeah, it does build. Let's see. Optimized. Warning. And Cyberpunk. I like all three of them. And Cyberpunk, like I said, it feels like it might be, it has micro shimmer in it. And I do wonder how that would do over a couple of the other colors that are mattes. Like I wonder how this one would do over this one, which is hacked. Just curious how that would layer together. And I really do want to see these two layered together. I think that would be so gorgeous, as would this one and this other matte called Mind Slip. So there's a lot, like for example, these two together, I think the bluish, is it? Yeah, blue micro shimmer would really come through with this kind of a base, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just finish swatching. But this, I really like these three. Okay. It's a good thing because they're the most purpley shadows in the palette as far as like medium purple colors. And so we only have the last three, which to me is this beautiful smoky eye potential right here. And we have Euphoric, Purple Dust, and Digital. And Euphoric looks gorgeous. Look at that. Ho, 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 ho. And Purple Dust. That's interesting. Purple Dust is looking different from what I expected. That's interesting. Okay, and then Digital, which I think is going to go really well with the mattes on the other end of the palette. Yes, it looks more like a deep bronzy chocolate. Okay, so Euphoric first, which I think is going to go really well with the other three purples. Yep. Yep. Very nice. These are all, well, at least these three, it just really screams Urban Decay, classic Urban Decay. So I'm pretty happy about that. And this is Space Dust, I think. No, Purple Dust. Purple Dust. And then Digital at the end. So Digital is more of a brown and Purple Dust is, well, a bit more purple. And they're very sheer. I think these two are definitely meant to transform as well. There's a lot of intention for us to layer these shadows. And this ability to layer a bunch of shadows on top of each other in this palette seems to just, it's a more complex palette, it seems, compared to some of the other Naked palettes. And I think, well, at least for me, the creative side of me is very excited by that, because I'm wondering, okay, what happens if I layer these two? What happens if I layer those two? Which one should come first? It takes 12 shadows and it really expands the potential. So we're going to do that last set of 3 swatches. Wow, this Euphoric did really well on the second go. And now we've got Purple Dust. Oh, 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 look at that. That is gorgeous. It's a deep purple with, I think is it blue shimmer? It sort of looks like blue shimmer, which together turn into kind of an iridescent purple. And then we have, what's that last one? Digital. And it is so neat. It's like a burgundy brown. I said bronzy at first, but I think it's more of a burgundy brown. Wow, here are the fingers on those three. I definitely want to play with layering on these. Let's do a real close pass through here. Okay, well, I don't know about you, but I am so ready to play. I will limit it to this palette as far as the looks I'm going to create over the next number of videos. I will keep it to the ultraviolet, but I guarantee you that I will also be pairing the ultraviolet with the Naked Cherry. I can just see so many opportunities to leverage some of the shadows in the Naked Cherry. It just makes absolute sense. Absolute sense. And I also want to play around with these colors along with the Naked Heat too. I think they're quite complementary, and good on Urban Decay for not doing shadows that are too repetitive. These feel like they're not really overlapping other palettes. They feel very different from what I have in my other Naked palettes. And I do have most of them. I did not get the Reloaded. I was not excited by it, but I pretty much have everything else. Okay, I will stop staring at the swatches. I hope you found this swatches video useful in some way. Please let me know what you think of the swatches, and I'd appreciate any comments you have on the swatches themselves, on this video. Please let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it each and every time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But for now, take care.